a banger. What a banger. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of your favorite podcast. You already know the one, OTR Radio, baby. We are back with another episode. Your host today, I should say, is the one and only D-Lo, and my co-host,
Denali. What's up, baby?
How are we doing today, brother?
We're doing good, man. We're out here knocking away some podcasts out here in the beautiful city of Los Angeles.
Los Angeles, La Land. So today we have another episode, guys. First of all, I just want to say thank you guys so much for all the love and support. As always, you guys mean the world to us. All right. This thing has been really doing well. I say that all the time before we start the pod, but we really do see the growth every time we post an episode. We see the appreciation. We see that you guys really genuinely love this thing, and that's why we keep doing this thing. So we are back with another episode, and today we have another special guest of mine. He's one of my favorite people doing the damn thing out here, man. He's a videographer. He's a photographer. He's a producer. He's a DJ. He's known for his versatile house and techno production, man. Give it up to the one and only Casper. Shout out one time, Casper, man. How you doing, brother?
What is good, Casper?
Yo. Thank you for having me.
How are you, man?
I'm doing pretty good. Just coming here from work. So it's been a long day-ish, but I'm glad to be here, honestly. Got my energy back for sure.
Hell yeah.
I'm glad, man. I'm glad. And thank you so much for coming after work, brother. I know it's a pain in the ass at times. Was it a bad drive? Traffic horrible?
Honestly, it was probably about average, like 30 minutes. But,
okay.
So it's probably like 10 minutes worth of traffic added on, but nothing too crazy for LA.
Classic LA, right?
How long have you been living out here, bro?
I was born and raised. Well, from the San Fernando Valley.
Okay.
Some people don't consider that LA.
Yeah.
It is, in fact, still
considered LA County.
It is
To us,
still the city of LA.
IE boys, that's LA, bro.
It's LAUSD.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was born and raised in the Valley. My mom's actually also born in the Valley, so
okay.
I'm like 1.5 generation. My dad's from Mexico, so like
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like a hybrid.
Okay, yeah, it's a rare breed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And so living out here your whole life, man, you just had to deal with that traffic. At this point, are you just used to it? Like, does it even bother you anymore?
It's kind of expected, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like just give yourself an extra 20 minutes. It's just,
Like,
it just grows on you sometimes.
yeah. Man, you know what? That's like one of the driving factors as to why I have not moved out here yet. I love it. I mean, there was a point even, brother, where I was like looking at lofts like right in downtown, like I'm trying to think of what street that was. Shout out Raul, Alberta, man. But Raul?
Yeah.
Dude, I was looking like in the same complex as him, and I just couldn't pull the trigger, man. I don't know. Soon, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Downtown LA, I don't know, but
Later this year, I'm thinking of popping out here for sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're looking at neighborhoods?
Not yet. I mean, Silver Lake's pretty nice, but I'm sure it is fucking expensive.
Yeah. No, it's gentrified for sure now.
What do you recommend? What neighborhoods are popping out here?
I don't know, man. Come out to the Valley, bro.
Yeah.
You got me and Defiant and some of the other 818 guys out there. John, if he still stays out there for the next few years. But I mean, there's some hidden spots, hidden gems everywhere. Yeah. I don't know about downtown LA. I don't know if I could do like living in a high rise or the fucking parking, dude. Like
they wanted to pay for your, aside from you paying for your parking, it wasn't even guaranteed parking, bro. It was like if there was an event there, they would prioritize that first before your paid parking spot, which is crazy.
Yeah. I don't know if. But you could probably find a nice little neighborhood like 15 minutes out. You know? Like especially coming out towards the hills.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, I actually was living in Montebello for a little bit.
Okay.
So it was like 15 minutes from downtown. It was great.
East LA is cool. I lived in Norwalk for like half a year while I was going to school out here. It was honestly pretty quiet. Like, but obviously, there's everywhere you go, there's places you don't go.
Yeah, every place has its hood for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
So, brother, I guess I just want to jump right into it, if that's cool with you, and just kind of get a little background about you, bro, and kind of see, like when it is dance music came into your life, like when a festival came into your life, like when even DJing was a song in your head. Like, give us a little backstory, if you don't mind.
So, I mean, I guess, like a musical background, like I've always been in or around music. I was like in choir when I was in elementary school.
Cool.
And then like going into middle school, playing instruments, Does everyone play instruments in middle school? Right.
I feel
I
like
wanted to, but my parents were like, "Nah, we don't got the money, bro. Sorry."
No, I mean
feel
our school
like
provided it, so I don't know.
I was gonna be a saxophone guy. I was like, "Give me that motherfucker."
Okay.
You know what? I don't know if it was our middle school, but I think in elementary school, yeah, they made us do like the little flute, the recorder.
The recorder, yeah.
See, I didn't do that.
Oh no, yeah, in
So,
middle
like,
school they didn't make us do it.
Because I played the cello in middle school.
Oh, okay,
Oh, sick.
damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like that was probably my first like real leap into like an actual instrument.
Uh-huh.
And then high school I got like I grew up kind of listening to like alternative rock.
Okay.
And like a bunch of like 90s and 80s R&B, hip hop
Sure.
and rap just
Yeah.
because my mom was born here and her brothers. So I was kind of like had that older I guess that old school musical
like
sound.
a mature.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
People like wouldn't expect that I would know like some of the artists that I do
Okay.
because they're like, oh, like this is like 2 generations before you or
Yeah, you're
whatever.
like, oh,
Hitting you with that's not your shit. What the-
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
you're well cultured. Who taught you?
So I got into that, and then high school I kind of shifted into like alternative indie pop and that like electronica,
Okay.
like MGMT,
Of
you know,
course, yeah.
like neon.
Classics, yeah.
Exactly. So like that's kind of like your first little tiptoe into like electronic music, and then at the time I was really into like video editing because I was taking a class like Photoshop and graphic design in high school,
Sick. Okay.
and a lot of video edits would use like Calvin Harris and Diplo.
Yeah, super popular at the time, right?
Yeah, so this was like 2015, 2016. So
for
like
sure.
Calvin Harris is like popping.
Yeah.
So at the time I didn't realize like that's what it was, but I was like, oh, this shit's sick.
Mhm.
And I ended up getting like I joined the Marines after high school.
No way.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
so
I
I was
didn't
in
know
the,
that.
I was in
Wow.
the Marine Reserves for 6 years.
Wow,
Holy shit.
man.
And when I came back,
Thank you for your service, man. I didn't know that.
Oh, thank you,
Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I came back, I actually met a homie who also lived in the Valley, who was in my unit, and he was a DJ.
Huh.
And they were like, he had already been DJing and producing, you know,
Yeah.
for like a couple years now. And I had another homie in the same unit, and he was also like into EDM, but he was into bass. So
Oh,
he
damn.
he was a little bit more of like a mainstream house head.
Gotcha.
But they were very much like every time we would have like a drill or we'd go out to the field together, it'd be like talking about festivals and like artists. And they're like, oh, have you seen the lineup for Beyond? Have you seen the lineup for this? Are you going to EDC?
Yeah.
And they would like show each other tracks. They'd be like, oh, have you heard so and so's new track, Valentino Khan's new track, or whatever it is. My friend was a really big like my DJ friend. His name is Chris.
Okay.
He was into
Shout out Chris, man.
Shout out to Chris. Yeah, seriously, getting me into it. But he was into like Moomba.
Okay.
Moombahton.
Yeah.
Like bass house,
Yeah.
like Dylan Francis, Good
Mhm.
Times Ahead.
I get you.
So when I was introduced to like house, it was that like Diplo, Calvin Harris, you know, that older.
Yeah, like progressive, melodic house type of.
Yeah, that into more of like hard house and then bass house basically. So I was introduced to like that through through Chris, and then my other homie put me onto like dubstep. So I was actually really big into like dubstep.
Wow.
And that's actually what I started DJing when
No
I first
way.
like got on the decks. It was like, oh, I want to be like Nightmare or
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
you know?
Dang, no way, man.
Yeah.
Just seeing, like, knowing you now, man, I just can't even see like a dubstep background to begin with, you know?
Really?
Yeah, I couldn't see it. It's just because, you know, you're involved with like the house and like techno scene that I don't really imagine anything else.
Yeah, I fucking like my very first festival was going into like Nocturnal 2018, 2019.
Mhm.
And they're called I'm not sure if like you're familiar with dubstep for like bass, but Black Tiger Sex Machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
you know when you walk into Nocturnal, there's like that first stage on the like at the
On
top
the
of the
hill?
hill.
Yeah.
At the very top of the hill. Like as we walked in, and it was already super late. This was like we had just come back from the field, so
Okay.
like it was like Sunday, and they're like, "Yo, it's Beyond. It's like day 2 of Beyond, and fucking I think it was like DJ Snake, and I forgot who else was playing. I think like Zed's Dead.
okay.
And he's like, we could still catch DJ Snake if you go right now. And this is back when tickets are still cheap. So you could still buy like a ticket the day of
Yeah.
The door.
for less than like retail or something. So like
That's when tickets would still be available even.
literally. So my friends were like, oh, are you down to go? Are you down to go? And then they looked at me and they're like, yo, you want to go? And I was like, oh, I'm broke. I can't afford a ticket. And they're
Yeah.
like, oh, we'll split your ticket.
Wow.
And
homies
we,
for real.
We fucking sent it from like Long Beach all the way to the fucking to the Glen Helen.
Oh fuck.
And we made it in time for like the last like 3 or 4 hours.
Uh-huh.
But BTSM was like the very first set that I saw like on that hill, and I was just like, this is fucking crazy, bro.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah, it's those like first sets, especially when you've never been to like it's your first festival at that specific venue or something. Like certain things stand out like that, man. And especially like that hill's so nostalgic. I personally like don't go to Nocturnal anymore just for like personal reasons. But when I was going and I was really appreciating the event, the hill like stage itself was one of the ones that I was like,
that hill. I had the craziest fucking ego death of my life, and I've been a different person ever since then.
Yeah,
I'm not kidding. I like was on shrooms and like rolling, and dude, I go into
a hero trip.
No, literally, dude. I told the homies, I'm like, dude, I gotta sit down. Dude, I sit down and I go into like my mind, and it's like a conference room inside my brain, and it's like all the different versions of me sitting in there trying to argue for like possession of me.
Yeah,
and I like have to argue my way through all of them, and dude, I just wake up out of it, and I'm sitting on that fucking hill, dude.
Yeah.
And I just start crying, bro. Fucking, I think Wookie was playing. This was like the first, like, you know, like my first rave.
Yeah.
Wookie's playing. He's playing, I think it's called When the World, I forget what it's called. But, dude, it's a beautiful song. There's bubbles and shit. And, dude, I'm just like bawling my eyes out. And, like, left there a completely changed person.
Yeah, you like level up, right?
Yeah, so dude, that hill is special. Something special about that hill.
It is just like that venue itself. Like, I'm like at the time I didn't know, but like I'm grateful now that like that was my first festival because it was at like a real park.
Yeah,
you know, like the Nas is cool, but like it is a parking lot.
Pretty much, exactly.
You know?
Yeah,
but
you're touching grass over there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
you're
so like
around nature and shit.
Exactly. So that was like my first introduction to just like a festival. So like
dope,
not just the venue, but like the whole culture shock. And this is like, you know, 2018, 2019. So like raves are definitely getting more popular, but they're not like how they are now.
Yeah.
Where it's like the crowds, you know, that I don't want to sound like that fucking old guy, but you know, like everyone was.
We all see it, brother.
Everyone was a little bit nicer, you know.
Yeah.
People were kind of there. It was a little more pure.
It sounds crazy how we sound, but it's true though.
I don't want to be that guy, but it was 2018 and it was long enough ago for it to have fucking been like that for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's almost 10 years ago.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Like that's unheard of now. Even looking for a ticket like the week of is like fucking insane, bro.
Yeah.
It's like everything's just scalped. You
No,
know?
100%, man. I remember back in the day, like around 2018, 2019, I was the type of guy, like, I'm buying my ticket the day of because I know I'm going to buy it cheap. Yeah.
Stress free.
I'm going to buy it cheap. I don't know how many tickets I bought literally the day of, and it was like half off, like literally.
It was
like,
almost smarter to do
free.
that.
Yeah, man. I was putting people on, like, yo, do it this way, man.
Yeah.
Fuck paying full price.
Exactly.
Until it got to the point of, like, yeah, you're not finding tickets unless you're overpaying at that point.
Basically, like either you're on a wait list or you fucking, you know.
It flipped the script. Yeah. Like it went from, you would be able to fucking find a cheap ticket because people were just scrambling to sell their shit. Now you're like scrambling to fucking find a ticket. And dude, shout out Radiate for fucking making it like so easy pairing up with PayPal.
Yeah.
Like that was like, Radiate was cool because, you know, you would find people, but you could get scammed so easy. But now that they're linked up with PayPal, dude, it's such a peace of fucking mind.
Super, man. After that, man, what were you? I'm assuming you already brought up you were taking some production class. Sorry, not production. Video editing class.
Yeah. I had taken like some basic like media courses in high school.
So you were already kind of doing both simultaneously, not really realizing it, right? Because I'm assuming like photography and videography was like your first passion, or
I think I took the media course because originally, like, you know, before I was introduced to the whole music scene, in high school, I was really into like programming. Like I had like the dream of like working on video games.
Sick.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, I could take media classes in high school and have a head start.
Yeah.
But you know, even though
get your foot in the door,
you're not making fucking video games in high school. But it was a Photoshop class. So I learned like basic Photoshop and then Adobe Illustrator. So I was able to make logos and stuff.
Yeah.
But the Photoshop class was fucking sick because that was like my first introduction to like the whole, just that entire atmosphere, you know.
And would they like send you out with like equipment and you go take pictures around the school and like come back and edit it? No,
it was all like like the teacher would basically just provide us like the image files,
Oh,
or he would
okay,
give
got
us like
you.
assignments and
Like kind of like scrapbooking in a sense, like.
almost, yeah. And then he was just like, one day you would come in and it's like, all right, today we're gonna learn how to, I don't know, like add a blur effect
Yeah.
on an object and make something look like it's moving, or we're
Okay.
gonna like create this mirror effect,
Nice.
or learn how to use like gradients or whatever it is.
Mhm.
So it's just like little by little, like
Teaching you how to use the program.
more or less, yeah. It's basically just getting familiar with the program. So like it's kind of like that. It's just like basic homework.
Yeah.
Like make this girl's hair green.
Little projects here and there. Yeah.
And then little by little, it'll be like, all right, now, like, put together this collage or make a flyer for the girls' volleyball team.
Yeah.
Something like that, you know?
You know, I think it's crazy how important those type of courses are going to be more and more important, because that's like the type of stuff we're kind of more focused on nowadays, like
For sure.
as like a society, you know, like understanding how to like edit things and like make sure everything looks a certain way. Courses like that, like video editing, Photoshop, like when I was in school, we had this thing called life skills, and it was a whole course of like from basic finances, how to sew, bake, like everything like that, bro. Yeah, man. And I feel like courses like that need to be more implemented because of like how fast we're moving. But even courses like that, like you're saying, like I feel like actual video game programming course would be sick for students, you know, like
Oh yeah.
music production course, like all types of stuff like that, man. Because I think we're moving in a society where everything's gonna be virtual. We can like, I don't know, man. I feel like that's the
But
way.
Elon Musk recently said that like our education system is just so flawed because they try to make it like a one fits all kind of thing. Whereas like, you know, you can ask your child like, what is it that you want to learn, and then put them in like a certain school or program that will help them excel in that specifically, you know. And like I think a lot of high schools now have more like STEM programs where
There you go. That's what it
Yeah.
is.
where like kids can, you know, get involved in like, you know, the science, tech, and, you know, whatever the STEM means. But yeah, I've heard like high schools are doing much better with like fine tuning shit for each individual student. And like going forward, we're gonna see a lot more people that are just like out the gate fucking professional as fuck, just because
yeah.
these schools are like actually, you know, using their resources for things that kids actually want to fucking learn.
Sure. Now, as you went to your festival, like started going to festivals, man, when was it like becoming apparent like you want to actually start working on music and like being behind the decks instead of in front of the decks, you know?
I think I remember like just coming over to my friend's place one time, Chris, and at the time he had like, what is it, the DDJ 1000.
Okay. Yeah.
So like him and our other homie who we still work on music to this day, shout out Angel.
Angel, man. Shout out Angel.
But yeah, him and his homie, they had like a group going already.
Okay.
So they hadn't played any shows. They were just like making music, but they were like, you know, especially to me at the time who had no idea like what was going on.
Yeah.
But like I could tell what like the transitions were, at least, especially like when I would hear them live. So like being able to see it like being done in front of me, I'm like, oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I think just seeing him do it was just like, dude, I could definitely try this myself.
So you like the technicality of it, like actually like.
Yeah, it looked like, I mean, I used to think, I'm pretty sure most people did, like that they were doing all this shit live on the fucking mixer,
for
you
sure,
know?
yeah, like-
especially
Like an edit
dubstep,
of a
bro.
song or something.
Yeah, you go to dubstep shows and these guys are playing like 6 songs at the same fucking
Oh,
time.
yeah,
You know?
chopping and
Within the
fucking-
span of like 2 minutes, you're hearing like 10 different samples.
Yep. Yeah.
So I was like, dude, these guys are doing this shit, you know, all live. Like how? And then, you know, at some point my homie was like, you know, a lot of those are edits or like they're pre-mixed. But even then, like a lot of the chopping and then like that shit's done live.
Yeah. No, for sure.
So like, I guess I was just like, dude, I want to be able to do that. Like I want to put together a set like at the time like RL Grime or like Nightmare that was like very just like, I don't know. There's just the thing I liked about dubstep was that you could kind of just have the crowd like in the palm of your hand, you know? You could just cut the song at an instant and introduce something else and completely change the vibe.
Yeah.
Whereas with house music, it's a little bit more drawn out, which is cool, you know? Like,
Yeah, I think the
It's more groove, like for groover friendly,
For
you know,
sure.
for house. But
sure.
I honestly feel like, you know, dubstep DJs sometimes don't get the credit that they deserve with like all the chopping and like shit that they do. Like
the creativeness. In
yeah,
it.
there's a lot more creativity in it, and just like the technicality. of it is insane. Just like being able to like you said, like going through like 6 different fucking tracks in a span of like 5 fucking minutes, just chopping shit, you know?
Yeah,
and it's like knowing exactly where you are in said song, like,
and like just fixing a mistake. Like I remember, somewhat kind of like, I mean, some of my first mixes are like dubstep and trap. They're still on my SoundCloud, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah.
But like after transitioning into house and like getting very confident with house, and then being like, oh, I should try dubstep again. I'm probably way better now. Like
so different.
They're completely different, bro.
Two different monsters.
2 completely
100%.
different things. So
Dude,
it's like
yeah.
you might think like you're the shit, you know, playing a fucking 4 on the floor beat, which is easy. But like, yeah, it's
different, man. It's every genre has their own way of mixing things.
Its own requirements
Absolutely.
to be a skilled DJ in that genre, you know?
For sure. So I think like just being able to take like aspects of that and just like
being well rounded.
More or less, yeah. And I really like, you know, coming from like hip hop and rap and like rock, I like that really gritty, you know, edgy, dirty, distorted sound.
Mm-hmm.
So hearing that in like dubstep and then transitioning into like Moomba and bass house, into tech house, into like, you know, what we're hearing now at like most of the afters here in LA. Mm-hmm. But like that was kind of like more or less my progression, you know. Gotcha. At the time I was like, fuck, dude, dubstep is thick, and I was practicing it, but there were like no dubstep afters.
Yeah.
You know, like,
yeah, bro, I have not seen that.
If at the time, like if you were gonna play a dubstep show, it'd be like at a bar.
Oh,
or so, like some random ass show where it's like a bar with like 6 people and it's all just homies or something.
For sure, LA doesn't have too big of a bass scene. I'd say San Diego does though, really.
Arizona does, dude.
Arizona, San Diego for sure.
Arizona, shout out to after 12, man. They're my Arizona family. They are heavily focused on like a dubstep afters, which is the first I've ever seen, first off. Mm-hmm. But they also are a very open crowd, man. Like they take everything and anything with open arms. It's a beautiful thing to see, man. And I was gonna ask you, man, the transition from being a dubstep DJ to, you know, now house DJ, like, was it difficult for you? Did you see it? Was it a smooth transition? Were you like kind of debating it?
Yeah. I think like to me at the time, like in a perfect world, I would play everything, right? Mm-hmm. But like I know that's very difficult to fucking, especially
at home,
especially commercially, you know, like at a big stage or at a venue, like it's gonna be very difficult to be able to sell. Like,
for sure.
I mean, John Summit tries to do it
exactly,
and
but
it pisses some people off, and some people like it,
right? And and those are two like. No, actually, you are right. I've seen him play like some dubstep with subtronics and shit. Yeah, so yeah, I have seen him all over the place too. Now that you say that,
we were listening to a set on the way here, and it was like tech house shit. Like, okay, cool, and then it went to like his melodic, like bubbly shit. Yeah, and then it started going into like some drum and bass to then like some weird dubstep stuff.
Yeah, it's got to be a little bit more tasteful for sure.
Yeah,
you know?
It definitely does, because you can lose people real fucking fast.
Yeah, you don't want to cast like too wide of a net.
Mm-hmm.
You know what, man? I also think it's where you're at in your career that you're able to take those like big leaps or like swings,
risks,
you know?
Yeah.
Because, yeah, man, like a normal, like, I'm trying to think of like a DJ that's like, you wouldn't see Green Velvet doing that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't see, you know, like, you wouldn't see Josh Baker doing that, you know? Like, it's because of where he's at, he's kind of like, fuck it, man. They're going to still come regardless. Like,
right.
He's now doing whatever he wants to do. Mm-hmm. It's a whole different dynamic. Everyone else is kind of, I don't want to say working their way, because obviously they're there, but
like they're in their lane, you know?
Exactly.
They stay in their lane.
Yeah.
John Summit, I feel like, his stardom has allowed him to kind of jump around and fuck around. So, yeah, it just definitely depends. You can't just be playing all sorts of shit fucking, you know, at an afters that calls for this.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
So it's like, I think going into like house music, I definitely still lean into like that more aggressive, like grittier tech house. That's, you know,
more techno leaning.
It was like people would consider it like borderline bass house if it wasn't bass house. To me, it wasn't. 'Cause to me, bass house was like abstract.
Oh,
Okay.
Or like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
or Jaws, Abstract,
like Taki, New Light.
Exactly.
Kind of
or it was more like very UKG leaning, like AC Slater and
there you go.
those guys. But like, so to me, I guess it's like, okay, it was very percussion driven, very bass driven. And then like getting into Blind Tiger, where like I had my residency for a little bit, like it was like very minimal. So it's like very hard finding that fine line of like, oh, this is not minimal. But I'm like, this is minimal to me, but I guess compared to the other shit that I'm listening to, like it is minimal, but in reality it's not. So
that's where it becomes, like the subgenre thing is it becomes difficult, because at that point it's like what you think sounds like
it's
you know?
subjective.
It's subjective, exactly. And that's what's difficult, man, especially with like very curated events like that. It's hard to very say like this guy's just tech house or this guy's just minimal tech, you know?
You gotta please the fucking people that are putting you on, you know?
For sure.
It's like, how can you do that but also stay true to what you like?
Exactly. There's like, especially when you play every week, and you're playing these like slot times that like, I was a resident closer, bro. So I was playing at fucking 5 in the morning.
Fuck.
So to me, in my mind, I'm like, bro, these people have been sitting through 4 or 5 hours of fucking straight minimal beats.
Yeah.
Let's go a little hard,
on a Wednesday
right?
fucking morning. If they're still here, I'm gonna give them a fucking party, bro.
Oh,
there you
for
go.
sure.
If they're still here, like, and I've had people like hit me up like through DMs. They're like, yo, I called off work just to stay for the rest of your set.
Fuck yeah.
You know? Bro. So it's like, to me,
thing.
it's like, I don't want to disrespect the rest of the people before me. I'm definitely not just gonna like jump right into it. But like, you're gonna play to the crowd,
Yeah,
and
sure.
like I've seen it just from also working the rope, that like if I were to have just gone into a lot of these situations where I'm just playing the same type of music, people just slowly walk out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So it's like
they get tired.
So why not like do the opposite and be like, yo, this is the fucking party, why let's not leave, you want to do everything you can to keep them in the club and buy drinks, right?
No,
that's
sure.
your fucking job,
That's
essentially.
the end goal,
Yeah, so it's like,
I get it, man. I've been in that situation too, where at Blind Tiger too, actually, where they're going for a specific sound, but you've seen it now, like 3 sets in, everyone's kind of on the same vibe, but you feel like it's getting to that point where people are gonna start leaving if you don't switch it up.
For sure.
Sometimes you got to make that executive decision to be
sure.
like, you know
Audible,
what?
Even if it's just for like a track or two.
Yeah.
Like
Just
tastefully.
Exactly.
Tastefully.
Yeah.
I think just doing it like tastefully, where like it's not obviously you're trying to switch it up and make it known you're switching it up, but just giving it a little bit of an energy spike, a little bit of energy boost, like a little flavor, man.
Peak their ears again.
Exactly.
Bring
them back into it. Like
realize
people
why
go
they're
out
there.
to smoke. Bring the crowd back.
Yeah, they're out there smoking. They're like, oh shit, what is that?
Exactly.
Fucking put that out. Boom.
So like I said, to me, it's like, yo, these people are here this fucking late on a Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever, random day of the week it is. Like, let me hook them up by giving them a fucking show.
Yeah.
And like making it worth it.
Absolutely.
As opposed to just like hearing more or less like a traditional closing set where I'm winding the night down. It's like, of course they're gonna fucking leave, bro.
Yeah.
And
You're putting them to bed.
As an artist, you don't want fucking your crowd like to know that your set is gonna make, and like obviously you pick good songs, play a good set, but that's just what's gonna happen, bro. People leave. As a closer, like you could play to a full room and then 10 minutes after have it be fucking completely empty.
Yep, they're gonna look at the clock and say, "Fuck, it's 4 a.m. on Tuesday."
Exactly, and you could be playing what you think is like your best set, and it's like, you're at the will of the mercy of the crowd, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally. Yeah, no, I agree, man. I think that's a good point and a solid fair point to like the listeners, man. I think it's great to take risks here and there, like just to make sure that crowd is aware and, kind of wake them up from that little trance they were in, to kind of give them a reset as well. That's never bad. But also staying in that parameter of like why they booked you in the first place.
Right. Like tastefully, right?
Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
you don't want to be disrespectful to like the promoters. You don't want to like, oh, I booked you for a tech house set or a minimal set, and now you're playing fucking bass house. Or, you're playing some weird edits
drum and
that have,
bass.
like some shit you had at a festival.
Yeah.
Like it's quiet.
Some
It's
major-
quiet
yeah.
for like 5 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, that's crazy,
So
man.
like, you still want to be respectful to everyone there. But yeah, absolutely. Like it is like a hard line to tread, especially when you're new, bro, because you don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
like,
you don't know if what's wrong or right.
you have like all good intentions to be like, I thought I was doing good by playing my best set.
I put something nice together before, and I think this is gonna work. And then you get there and you're like, oh shit, okay, we're gonna have to switch it up.
Yeah, fucking pivot, dude. Like complete 180.
Now, speaking of that, man, like when you got into the scene, was it difficult to kind of break in? Like not break in, but like kind of get your foot in the door. Because although you were like, yes, shout out to Chris, like he was like mentoring you in a sense a little bit, but for you to kind of pave your way, like, was it hard? Was it like,
aside from like those like 2 times where it was like a very like a handful of times where I'd seen him like mix.
Sure.
He didn't like show me how to mix.
Okay.
He was just like, oh, this is what
understood.
This is what DJs do.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
This is what they're doing up there, and like this is more or less the concept of it.
Understood.
You had to sit there and absorb it yourself.
Yeah. So at a certain point, I was just like, okay, this is sick. I'll buy my own controller, and I fucking fucked with it for like a day. I was like, I hate it because I suck.
Yeah.
And then I put it away for like 3 months, and then one day I just picked it back up, and like I actually stuck with it. But everything else, like aside from knowing him, I had like maybe one other homie who was like from high school who was also into like electronic music, and he knew how to DJ, but he played bass music.
Fuck. Okay.
And and we hung out like once or twice, but
Yeah.
aside from that, like I was basically just watching YouTube videos.
Understood.
And
Yeah.
and then every now and then I'd be like, yo, let's get together and mix, and then I'll try to see what he's doing, and then see, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
it's hard to like catch that. Yeah.
You think you're like, okay, cool, I'm better now. Because he was like freestyling songs. I was like, damn, bro, this is insane.
Yeah.
Like I could never,
Yeah, the mental capacity is going crazy. Yeah.
Right. So
that's insane, man.
It's interesting too, because like you can see and like visualize everything and how they do it and shit, but it's
Look
honestly
who it is. Look who entered the room right now.
fuck.
For those listeners, man, the one and only Stanley Kubrick just entered the room.
holy shit.
What is up, brother? What's up? Sit down, man. There's a chair over there.
Good to see you, Papa.
Get on in.
Oh, that chair's a little wonky, bro. Be careful.
Yes, just be a bit careful. Hell yeah, man. Now it's a fucking party.
Yeah.
Oh shit. I think he could at least listen in, but
Oh,
the
yeah.
mic's gonna be.
Yeah, no.
Perfect. I can just chill.
The headphones are plugged in, so you should be able to listen, brother. No worries.
But I was saying, you can sit there and watch and try absorb as much as you can, but learning phrasing is fucking. You just got to go through it, man.
Yeah, it's just trial and error, I think like at least for me, like I would just put together a set list and then just practice the same transitions like in and out of each song. But it was like those exact songs in that order, like
you would hot cue like certain
Exactly,
shit, like
exactly.
where I'm gonna mix in, where I'm gonna mix out.
Yep.
Dude, yeah, I would do the same thing.
I'd be like, all right, I got 8 bars right here.
It's insane though. Once it finally clicks, phrasing, you're
For
like,
sure.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
But you
yeah.
could like look at a random waveform and be like, all right, this
Yeah.
is what starts here,
It's
exactly.
wild how your mind starts to like kind of place it. You start looking at music
It's
differently.
literally
man.
For sure.
learning another fucking language.
Yeah.
It's wild. Can you not hear anything, Stan? Yeah. Is it too loud? Too low?
That's perfect.
Awesome, man. We're glad to have you early, man. Super cool. Super excited for the pod later. Overall, man, I guess it's just a wild concept, man. How we take in music like that, and I think how you started out is really interesting. So props to you, man, and the way you've been kind of handling it overall, I think is really awesome.
Yeah, especially wearing as many hats as you do.
I was just gonna
DJ,
say, yeah, like,
producer, photographer, videographer. So how would you say like these kind of worlds feed into each other?
Definitely from the DJing into the producing, because
Yeah, it goes hand in hand.
after a while of like being an afters DJ, you're like, okay, I need some type of leverage, as to like why I can play bigger shows.
Yeah, right.
And you're not gonna be an afters DJ forever, or at least
nah.
at least it wasn't my dream.
yeah,
That's not why I got on the decks.
I tell everybody all the time, man, you shouldn't be focusing on just playing here in SoCal or just in LA. Like you gotta look big picture and
Yeah.
say
Absolutely.
worldwide, right? Like
Gotta
you
branch
wanna-
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like at least for me it was like, okay, how are these like, because I've noticed like especially because I was working at the afters, I worked at Blind Tiger, I was a security guard, So like I was working the door.
Wait.
And I would,
You were a security at Blind Tiger?
I was the dude checking your IDs, patting you down.
You
Dude.
probably checked.
Did you ever see us there, bro?
Probably.
What the heck?
I worked there for like a good year and a half.
Okay.
What the fuck? I swear I don't remember running into you at the door, man. Damn.
Yeah, it was like probably like 2022.
Okay. I don't think I was Blind Tiger yet.
It was when they still had different nights.
Yeah, no, then I was playing at one of the different nights.
Okay, then there you go. So, but I don't know, maybe because there was a period like towards the end of that like era where I wasn't working the door anymore. So maybe that's when you went.
Maybe, possibly.
But
Wow, I didn't know that, man. Fascinating.
Yeah.
Sorry, continue.
Oh yeah, so just seeing like.
Yeah, just
DJ into producing.
Oh yeah, DJing. So like seeing how like, hey, there's some guys that I see coming in. They're older or they've been in the scene a little bit longer, and they're still playing these local shows. And I'm seeing these big lineups and like the flyers for Academy and Day Trip, and it's like, oh, there's these other dudes that are basically kind of like that next level, more or less. Yeah. And you're looking at these guys and you're like, they weren't playing afters, were they?
Yeah, I get
like not everyone takes this avenue.
No.
Yeah,
and not to say that there's any set one, but to me it was like, what are these guys doing that's getting them on these bills that we aren't doing or that we could implement, you know? And to me that was like, oh, they're producing.
Yeah, they have music of their own to play.
Yeah.
People are pulling up because they want to hear that song by them.
Exactly.
Know? Not because they're playing everyone else's tracks. I mean, obviously you do it tastefully, but you got to throw in some of your own shit.
Right, and then hopefully little by little, if that's like the route you want to take in being an artist, is like eventually, hopefully, you're playing all original tracks, all original edits.
That's
maybe
one of my goals for this year, is to play a set. Just
just
all IDs.
All IDs. Yeah. So, just getting into that route, I was just like, okay, clearly producing is the best way to network, right? You're literally networking in rooms that you don't even have to be in.
You're not wrong.
So it's like, put fucking all your money into that shit. And I spent like a good 2 years just cramming videos and courses and trying to learn everything about whatever was relevant. It's kind of like a never ending hill.
You'll always be a student in this shit. There's endless things to learn. Like we went and saw Richie Houghton at Skyline, and I'm like, dude, that's a whole fucking other level.
Oh, like the live set, right?
The live set.
I'm like, God damn,
blew his mind, bro. He didn't know.
I'm like, what the fuck?
I remember seeing that too. Yeah, I was on the stage,
dude,
and I was just like,
so gas.
Dude,
that's fucking.
That's a whole nother language, man.
Absolutely.
It's understanding something completely different that we're used to. And
that was like genuinely electronic music.
As
pure as it can be.
Absolute levels to this shit. And like,
nuts,
if you don't know, you'll never know.
For sure, yeah.
I think going back to what you were saying, man, as well, like seeing some people like that don't need to take that like afters course and just focus on like the production side. Like we seen it firsthand almost with Void,
Exactly, yeah.
Although he was at a couple afters, I remember running into him, like he wasn't really trying to play. He was more just focused on the production. Even talking to him about it, he was like, it's whatever, man. Like if I play, I play. If not, like I'm mostly focused on that. And we're seeing him now, like playing these bigger events, playing at the festivals now, man. It's a beautiful thing to see, and it's showing that it's proving again time and time what we've talked about. Like you just got to get in the studio and do the damn thing, man.
Exactly. Yeah. It's one thing that and one thing I guess I had to get across, and what helped me at the time was it's like that monster in the closet. Everyone's kind of running from, and by all means, you don't have to produce. If you're a DJ and you don't have to be a producer or even produce any music.
Yeah, you could
be at the top level.
Wonderful sound selector.
But just at the time, I was seeing To Be Honest. He was a local dude. I saw his name on one of the flyers for Tropicaza.
Oh yeah.
And Santa Ana.
Crazy.
And I was like, dude, that's fucking insane.
Yeah.
Imagine being on the same flyer as To Be Honest, and now you're like, oh, this dude's fucking signed to every label, every pop and tech house label under the sun, and seeing them tour. So it's just what are people like that doing that I could start doing? And that was production. So just if it's something that you're gonna have to lean into anyways, you might as well start now.
Exactly.
To
me, that seemed like the key route for me. Get some skin in the game as a DJ, make yourself known, make people know okay, you're a reputable DJ, and then start producing, start having songs of your own, and then have that even catapult you even further.
Right.
So yeah, that's what I'm on right now as well.
Yeah, it's I don't know, it's definitely like also helped in terms of, you know, like it's just a conversation starter, you know, like how many people are like, oh, you bump into them at a party, like, I'm a DJ.
Shit.
I'm a DJ, you know what I mean? Especially at an Afters in LA, bro. You could probably throw your fucking keys and you'll hit like 10 DJs.
100%, bro.
You know?
It's now, yeah, so it's every like, other person, bro.
So it just comes back to like, yo, what's your leverage?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, what is the leverage?
How do you stand out?
What is your personal leverage in the game that's making you stand out? Like, what's making you an asset to promoters, to teams?
Everyone's a fucking DJ these days, so it's like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, exactly. So for me at the time, it was still like that, you know, back in 2022 when I first went to Blind Tiger and they were having open decks. And I remember just asking the guy at the door, like, oh, well, you know, even if I don't get selected for this open deck stuff, like, if you guys ever need help with the security or the door or tickets, like, I'm down to just, you know, work or pitch in if I could, like, be around the team or whatever.
That right there is what you did is different.
And then a week later, they're like, oh, yeah, we need a security guard. And I'd never fucking worked security in my life, bro. I mean, I was in the military, you know, so I guess that helped. And thankfully, I've never had to get down with some crazy shit working the door, bro.
I mean, crazy.
Yeah, but
it's really just about how do you make yourself valuable.
Right. So, you know, I think everyone, like, even if you don't know production, you know, just being out there and going to the shows and fucking, like, supporting on social media, taking videos for them, you know what I mean? Like, sharing the DJ's tracks or just anything, you know.
You're
like,
genuinely being one with the community, man.
Right, exactly. You gotta be willing to give something
and not expect anything back.
Exactly, and not even just expect it. Just that, like, that should be just a natural part of the transaction.
Because
you know,
you have love for the community or the events that you want to go and support.
Right. You don't want it to, like, just be like take, and then eventually it just becomes something that you know, you don't recognize.
Because then you're just sitting there waiting for something that, you know, you should have never expected in the first place. You should just give selflessly.
And, like, so I think to me it was just like, all right, I offered that, you know, hey, I'm willing to work, and they took me up on it, and that's how I was like the security guard. And I also did like the setups every night, and they would have like different decorations.
Yeah, so, dude. I was playing Tech Culture when they did that.
Oh, yeah? Did you have, like, that fence?
I did. The fence and, like, the mannequins, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, like,
I remember that because John had hit me up for that. Shout out to John, man.
Shout out John Jose.
I got to play Malfunction when they were doing that.
It was like a
Malfunction
Tuesday?
Yeah, on Tuesdays.
Yeah, dude, setting up those chains are a bitch, bro.
That's wild, man.
Heavy as fuck, huh?
They were plastic chains.
Oh, really?
But you would have to get on this, like, 16 fucking foot ladder.
Oh, fuck.
And you were essentially on the second to last fucking step.
Hell
like,
nah.
With, like, a broom pole, like, just trying to hang it on some hook that's on the ceiling, bro. And it's...
God damn.
Yeah, that and the disco balls, those disco balls were heavy as fuck, man. And trying to balance that, like, on
a fucking broomstick.
Yeah, dude.
God.
Oh, man.
How does that work, by the way? Like, you guys go the morning of and, like, would rearrange it?
So since I worked the setup and the door, like, I would just get there, like, an hour and a half before doors. And I would just, like, fucking set up. And that's how I actually got, like, a lot of practice in on the CDJs, is because I would I would get there, like, 2 hours early, sometimes 3 hours early. And, like, just open up the doors and set everything up and just
run through sound.
Yeah, and just literally just fucking freestyle on tracks and just fuck around with the CDJs.
That's
and,
dope.
like, that was, like, my first introduction to, like, getting very familiar with CDJs. But, you know, like, obviously that's a fucking luxury that a lot of people don't have. But, you know,
that's actually one of the first places that, like. The green room was always funny to me, but one of the first places that was like there was a green room for me,
dude.
And the actual good CDJ setup, man. I felt like they were one of the first people that really cared about sound and like really wanted to have a solid setup. And I remember, like, I think that was the first place I got to play 3000s on as well when they, like, got the new one.
Yeah, when they got the 3000s.
Yeah, when they got the 2000 stolen, I think. Or
they would just switch on, like, I think we had, like, several pairs.
Understood. Got it.
So we were kind of just bouncing between like the pairs, and at some point we just upgraded.
Yeah.
But Yeah, it was fucking sick. I remember the open decks. Like the very first time I'd been to Blind Tiger, I saw them play on an XDJ.
Oh, dude, yeah, I remember that.
So when I went to the open decks, I was like, oh, they have an XDJ. If worse comes to worse, the waveforms are like parallel, so I could just fucking cheat a little bit. And I'm standing in line, and I fucking like I don't know if it was John, but I tapped someone who was working there, and I'm like, yo, this is XDJ, right? Like we just plug in, we're good. Like, oh, these are CDJ 2000s. I was like, bro, I've touched CDJs like twice in my life.
And the 2000s are like the worst to start
Panic
off
set
on.
in and shit. You're like, oh, fuck.
But, yeah, Blind Tiger, shout out to them. I was able to fucking sneak in those lessons for free.
Oh, yeah, man.
Big shout out to Blind Tiger. Big staple here in LA.
Yeah, I was able to get those reps in.
Your mic working, Stanley?
Test.
Oh.
Yeah, let's go.
Sounds pretty good.
Nice.
Is your volume too high, too low?
I don't know how are we?
Check 1 2.
Sounds good.
Feels kind of loud, no?
Too loud? Well, you tell me, man. I could check.
tell me.
I could adjust you. I could adjust your channel only.
Okay.
Check 1 2.
Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Right there. Oh, it's just my volume.
It's just your volume.
Yeah.
I got you. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Right there? Okay.
I'm like,
I don't hear a difference here. Yeah, I get you. No, how are you, man?
Good. Glad to be here.
I'm glad to have you here, man. I'm very happy that you're able to kind of come in towards like the end of Casper's like pod here, man.
It's perfect. This is definitely the nephew here.
Yeah, this is kind of cool. We haven't had a double guest.
You know what? No? A quick little backstory to the listeners, man. I actually met Casper through Stanley at shout out Teal Ruben at Teal Ruben's house. A year, 2 years ago?
Yeah, I
met something like that.
I met Casper when they were doing I forget who was playing. It was at that like rooftop in San Bernardino where they do
the Fun Day. Was it Fun Day House?
Was playing there.
Oh.
Who?
Nar, John Jose's girlfriend.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yes.
Yeah, I was talking to you and John Jose, and then I seen Casper, and I'm like, who's this cool guy?
It was like a rooftop?
Dress fire.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a Fun Day event. It was in downtown San Bernardino, right?
Yeah. It was definitely downtown, yeah.
They had someone there that I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
And yeah, you introduced me as your nephew.
Oh yeah,
and I genuinely believed it.
I do remember that.
I tried to drag you guys out too.
Yeah. You did try to drag us out to that one. I do remember.
I was like, I'm getting tequila. I'll be right back.
You know what? That night specifically, I don't remember what it was that was in the air that no one was like on that party mode.
No, you guys were so tired. Were you guys coming back from like Arizona or something like that?
My bad.
Oh my goodness!
I remember who it was. It was Lucati. Lucati was playing.
Lucati was playing there.
Lucati was playing.
Yeah, I was like, come on, guys, let's go.
That's right. Damn, bro, it's crazy.
And then I told this guy, since I was like, don't worry, I got my friends here. We'll get a ride back to LA. Trust me, we'll figure this out. Hey, man, props to you, man. I don't know how the fuck you guys do it all the time. Yeah, that was wild. Yeah, that was crazy.
Hey, you want it bad enough, right?
Yeah.
But nah, man, we're in the middle of interviewing Casper here, man. You got any questions for homie?
Oh, that's a good question. Let's see here. Give me one moment. Maybe
absolutely, man. We'll come back to you in a second. Yeah. Now, how do you balance, man, like being a photographer and like a DJ at the same time? I know you're wearing multiple hats, but how do you find the balance for both, and how do you decide like which one's more important to you to do?
I mean,
and I know it's difficult, man.
Yeah, I think it's just you kind of naturally just get like burnt out in a way
of one, and then you jump to the other.
Kind of. I've always been like one to like. I think you mentioned earlier, like you're very all in, all or nothing.
Yeah.
So like I'll go super into like producing for like a period of a month or a couple months. And
I feel you.
And then I'll kind of like slow back. You know, you kind of work on a few songs and you hear them so many times that you're like, these suck.
You get over it.
Why am I doing this? You know, and you just kind of hate them.
So
you give yourself that break. So I really try to utilize that break, and like especially knowing that like that's kind of a natural thing.
Yeah.
So just use that to be like, all right, cool. Now this is time to shift into photo or video or whatever it is. You know, aside from trying to be out on. I don't want to say on a weekly basis, but you know, like
you try to show face, shake hands.
Exactly.
Somewhere.
You know, especially if your homies are playing a show or whatever it is.
Gotta support.
Exactly. So it's like, and you know, I have the camera and shit, so it's like, why not pop out and take a few photos if I can, you know?
Now, we kind of talked about it like a little bit like before we started the pod, and the question was, you know, do you find it difficult to kind of put the DJing in the back seat and kind of focus on the photography, like mainly?
I think.
How do you navigate that, man? Like, I know Like, I know you love to do both, and I know it's hard to do both, and I know it's one is sometimes more predominant than the other, but like, how do you kind of make it still where you make it work?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it's really just like,
seems kind of healthier though too. No, kind of
yeah.
Right?
In a way, it's kind of like they feed into each other.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, even if I'm not necessarily producing or getting shows, it still gives me photography and media. It gives me an avenue of like still being involved in the scene.
Okay.
Which I still enjoyed, even without DJing or like participating in that like aspect. I still very much like the community of it. I still like going to shows. It's my favorite genre of music.
Yeah.
So it's like it gives me a chance to still be in the scene, be very involved. Make some money.
Yeah.
And then on the artist side of things, like it's very, at the time it's a good networking tool, because everyone needs media.
Yeah.
From your artist friends to other people you don't know.
Yep.
And promoters and, like it's one of those things like we had mentioned earlier, like, it's another tool in your tool belt, essentially.
Yeah.
And if you could provide that and, especially how we touched earlier, you're supporting these collectives, you want to stand out and not just be another DJ. Hey, I'm a photographer who pops up to your events or,
you're making yourself useful.
Exactly.
Valuable
And you're just contributing to the scene in a way that's like, at least to me, it's like I could kind of leave my own mark on it, but also, also just contribute, I don't just want to be someone that's like, hey, here I am, give me a set.
Yeah.
Even if I have whatever experience I have producing or DJing, like I still have no right to just walk in and be like, yo, I've been DJing for 7 years.
Yeah.
Therefore, I should be the headliner. You know what I mean?
Like,
and I know that's like,
I get you.
That's a mentality.
We've seen it.
I'd
know
say
people
for almost everyone,
it,
I'm sure everyone at one point has had that thought where you're just like, but it's like, there's a lot more to it than that.
100%.
Would you say that resourcefulness kind of came from the military? Like just being like always ready to do a job or the job?
I think, like in a sense, like the shitty hours and, not having much sleep and you're just used to doing shit you don't want to do.
Yeah.
Not to say that like photos or even that, any of that is shit you don't want to do, but
sometimes you're not trying to be out
for
late as fuck every night, every weekend, but if you're out there being helpful, valuable, then it feels a little bit better.
Yeah. As opposed to just, like being at home and not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know everyone has their own thing that they do, but like, at least to me, it's like, what else would I be doing like at home playing video games or, you know what I mean? Like,
I get you.
Yeah.
So it's
At
kind of
least
like.
you're being resourceful.
Right. So it's kind of like a hobby feeding into my other hobby. And then, like I said, it gives me, when I do feel burnt out and I'm like, damn, I don't really feel like putting the effort into DJing or producing, I'll play or I'll go do a media gig and I'll see like, someone playing for a big crowd, or I'll see like the reaction a producer gets from one of his tracks.
Yeah, it'll give you that spark again.
Exactly. And it's just like, oh shit, this is why,
like it reminds you.
Exactly. Fuck. And just seeing it and just being able to look at it in like in a healthy way and be like, dude, good for this guy.
Yeah.
Like, and if this guy could do it,
so it feeds into each other.
Why the fuck can I not do it?
Very well, very healthy. Yeah.
So that's how I try to look at it and just be like, oh, take inspiration from the environments that I get the chance to be in because I do media.
Yeah.
So
100%. Usually after I leave a festival or, like something like that, I leave inspired. So I could see how, they go hand in hand. Mm-hmm. They bounce back off each other.
Especially just like going over the footage, and you're just like, holy shit, I'm shooting you guys like peak headline time.
Yeah.
You guys are fucking living in the moment, doing your thing. That's fucking sick. And it's like, obviously I already have the experience of being there. So it's like that in addition to just like, the whole playing music aspect and being a part of the crowd and just the whole community aspect is just like, it gives you that, like you said, that spark of just like, all right, this is why I do this. This is why I'm out on these nights where I really would rather be at fucking home,
Yeah. But you see the big picture again.
Exactly.
I fuck with you heavy, man. Just because I could tell that's so genuine, and I can tell that you really mean like you just want to be a part of the scene and watch it grow and be a part of the growth. It doesn't matter where you are in it as long as you're with it, And I admire that a ton. I respect that a ton, man, because a lot of people have that ego that say, nah, man, like I want to be the main character. Like I want to be the one that's like giving the people like the experience, but nah, man, you're just happy to be along for the ride. And I admire that a ton. A lot of people need to like understand that. Like I would say that me personally, I feel that we're doing that service as well with this, like the pod, like putting us on the side and like showing you guys, like giving you guys the spotlight because you guys deserve it. You guys really are the people that are out doing the thing. And from DJs to producers to photographers, videographers, like event organizers, like the guy we had before here, he's just an event promoter. That's his main focus. He's a DJ too, but like his main thing is wanting his brand to be out and alive. So just being around people like that is really inspiring, and I admire that, man. That's really awesome.
Yeah, I think that's what I like most about the community too. Just like you meet so many people that are just passionate about every aspect of it. You know, like you working in like the technical side of it, and on the back end, you meet like VJs and effect artists, you know, even the light and sound crew, like they're dedicated to light and fucking sound.
No,
bro.
they're about
like,
it.
It is their passion, and it's awesome just having like even I don't know shit about it, but like I can sit there and have them talk my ear off for an hour. You know,
it's just as humans, you know, it just feels so good to be a part of something, to have that sense of tribe. You know?
And and seeing and being able to realize like everyone has like is in their piece of what they feel like they need to be in and like excel in. Like it's a beautiful thing to see, man. And again, I just had to give you your flowers because like even outside when I was telling you, like it's really awesome to hear that, man, because not a lot of people have that mentality anymore. Like they're more about like wanting to see themselves grow and their little like circle instead of like the whole scene itself, you know.
That's fine, but I mean, you know, at the end of the day, it's, you know, the people that support you that really make you fucking go places.
For sure. And I'm like kind of like circling back to like, how do I feel about it? Ultimately, like it's still like DJing and producing is still like
the main goal.
It's still going to be the main goal. I think it's just coming to terms with like, everything comes in like seasons almost.
100%.
There's like a tide and a high tide and a low tide, and there's going to be a busy season, and you know, I'm kind of like turtling at home where I'm just fucking working on music and getting my shit together. But in reality, you know,
like you said outside, man, you're looking at the long game,
right?
Because obviously you can put all your eggs in one basket, but you having multiple, you know, hands and, you know, being everything that you do is just only helping you come to this culmination, this point where you are gonna fucking skyrocket, you know, because of all these things that you can do.
Yeah. And for like a little while, there was like a hesitation when it came to like leaning into photography, even because I was like, oh, dude, if I'd lean into doing media, like I'm not going to have time to be a DJ or like, you know what I mean? And that becomes like a big reason why you don't lean fully into it. And I know that like I kind of just had this conversation with myself where I was like, dude, what am I like, what am I fearing here? That like I get too good at being a photographer? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, what if I focus on photos? What if I
become the best of the best?
Yeah, what if I become a good photographer and a bad DJ? It's like
success is success.
Exactly, dude. Like I'd rather have that issue and then find myself further down the road and be like, okay, well, I could just pivot into this avenue.
Yep.
If you're successful in one thing, you can definitely do it with something else.
Right. And it's not like, and even the way like I was thinking about it is like, what am I afraid of? That like I'm gonna accidentally be a fucking success? Like that doesn't even fucking work, bro. No. You know,
no, that's a wonderful problem to have.
So it's like you're very much conscious and aware. Like you don't just stumble into it. You know, you're just preparing, and then when you get that opportunity, it's like boom, now you're ready. But there's no like, and I know that like in everything that I'm doing, at least I feel like I'm not necessarily wasting energy. You know what I mean? I feel like even if I'm focusing on photography, I'm still building up production. Or if I'm focusing on DJing and stuff, like I can still have this on the back end, you know? So it's kind of just filling in the gaps. But yeah, I'm just grateful I get to be a part of the industry, dude, and that I found like a community that I really liked, and you know, it's
a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah, thankfully, you know, they welcome me with open arms. So I'm just trying to leave it, you know, in a good spot, because obviously we're getting into that late stage capitalism.
I know.
EDM community industry, but
it's a sad thing.
You could definitely still preserve something here.
Absolutely, man.
So it's like you just got to ride the wave.
100%. I think like with you doing that, the visuals, the multicam, like the videography, like us doing this long form stuff, like this is going to be like the time capsules in a sense, like what we look back into, you know.
Right.
That's essentially one of like the main reasons why we did this in the first place, to kind of be able to look back and like 5 years, 10 years from now, you yourself, us, and kind of be like, okay, this is where we were at, this is where the scene was at. Where have we grown? What have we done since? You know, I think it's a great piece of like
a bit of a video diary. You know,
video and like audio diary.
Yeah, the time capsule is like honestly the best, perfect way to bring it.
Now, as both a creator and a visual documentarian of the underground, how do you feel about the current state of the LA and house techno scene? As a goer and as a performer,
I think. As a attendee,
there you go.
I guess as an attendee. I mean, really, like, I think as a overall like trend, I think we're seeing electronic music at like reaching its peak, if not at its peak, like literally in terms of popularity.
Yeah.
And I think like all trends, it's gonna hit its peak and it's gonna die. And you know, a lot of the people that we see that are just at these shows for, you know, reasons. Yeah, let's just say the wrong reasons. But a lot of the crowds that usually cause the issues, whatever you think those crowds may be, let's just say the common party goer.
Sure.
It'll hit its peak. It'll die down. They'll realize, hey, this is kind of lame. And, you know, hopefully there will be people that are like, no, this is actually cool. 'Cause obviously, naturally, there will be.
Yeah.
And I think we'll just hit another, you know, cycle where it's
the
like
Renaissance
now, where we almost go back into like now it's pure again, you know, like we kind of get, it's just natural for everything really.
Having a quick purge and then come back clean.
I mean, every genre has like its like peak and then it comes back down. And like, I would assume once you go back to like that scene after it's lost its popularity, you know, you're going to be down to that core fan base again.
Yeah, I feel like for right now, rap is kind of in the dark ages right now. It's like very quiet over there.
Yeah, it's been I know it's definitely shifted back over to like R&B and
pop,
for sure,
jazz.
Yeah.
A lot of jazz I've been hearing is very popular here in LA, like little jazz clubs and stuff.
But could you see like a big brand that's like monopolized the scene, like Insomniac, go down though? Like,
I mean, maybe not go down, but I think they will kind of just hit their peak and become like another name in the industry, you know, especially with like Framework and all these other promotions. I mean, that's obviously a very big promoter too, but just seeing like way more promoters and like these offshoot shows and like random spots that actually have really good production.
Oh yeah, dude. The underground is going crazy with production.
Exactly. Man. So hopefully like, you know, they keep suing Ticketmaster or something, and like
taking out the big guy.
They can't monopolize tickets.
I was just telling him on the way here that I was reading news that fucking Ultra locked in for another 20 years till 2046 at the Miami water park front or whatever.
Yeah, that's
so. I'm like obviously they see something.
Yeah.
To lock in 20 years more.
They got the numbers too.
Yeah. Right? So they're probably, you know, I don't think it's going to die down, but
I think, but also like something like festivals, you know, you could always pivot, you know what I mean? So I think at like a broader thing, like an Ultra, like who knows, electronic music could still die down and then they could just slowly shift in hip hop artists. Just like Coachella, you know, like a lot of these big festivals like start off as one thing and they shift into another because it gains popularity and they kind of just stay relevant.
Yeah.
True.
So that's kind of why I just see like, is Insomniac going down just because they're from like a ticketing, you know, business standpoint? Probably not. But I think as a whole, like
the attendee.
At least from what I see, especially on social media, like a lot of people are coming to terms with like the realization that like, yo, like this is not what it was before. You know what I mean? And it's, I feel like a lot of people are definitely kind of just realizing like, oh, there's some glaring issues. And then with that, you know, hopefully, like you said, it purges.
Yeah, no,
we're just left with the pure music lovers.
Yeah, because clearly it's a trend.
Yeah,
you know?
It really is. Yeah,
clearly as of right now, it's a trend, especially here in LA. You're seeing, you know, going to day trip in the park.
Yep.
You know,
I my younger sister, she's turning 18, and she's telling me about like how her and her friends are ready to go to these events because she sees them all the time on TikTok, and that's letting me know that it's already being like sold to the young generation, like to get them ready and like programmed to go to these things,
Yeah, I can't even imagine like what's it like on the outside now.
Yeah. A recent study was saying that a lot of the younger generation are now valuing like festivals and experiences, traveling rather than material things as like our older generations were. So I think a lot of these companies are obviously targeting through fucking social media and stuff. And I mean, I get it. Like I would much rather spend a lot of money on a fucking sick ass memory with people I love, or like a dope ass experience. Like I have no need for a nice fucking car. As long as it gets me here and there, fuck it.
Yeah, dude. I think I don't know. I think it's shifting in a good direction. I'm not too worried about, I guess, the oversaturation of the market, I'd say. Okay. Especially like you said, we're each in our own lane. Mm-hmm. I think if you stay authentic to it and you have like a solid foundation, then you just ride out the storm.
Yeah, man.
And honestly, in the end of it, like think about the leverage that you'll have afterwards.
100%.
Like you'll be an OG, hopefully.
Yeah, 100%.
You're right, dude.
I would hope you have something. Everyone here has something built for themselves, especially if you're in the game for that long and you're playing the long game.
I agree, man.
And you're only gonna stand out more, right?
100%. I tell Rich all the time, Crucified. Shout out Crucified, man.
Shout out Crucified.
We're always talking about just being the toughest weed, man. We always see weeds getting pulled out, but you just gotta be the toughest weed and just stick through the weeding season.
Yeah,
I like that.
Like you got to, man. And the scene is like that. You get chewed and spit right back out if you're not consistent enough, if you're not kissing ass enough, if you're not doing
unique enough.
Yeah, unique enough, like anything. So you just got to be on your toes 100% of the time, man. Now, what about with social media? You think social media has ruined the scene?
I think it's like a tricky subject. I mean, I'm pretty shitty on my social media, I'm gonna be honest. But I think it's definitely like a double-edged sword where like if this is something that you're gonna be getting into, like it's just the name of the game, and at the end of the day, like what I also remind people is like if you're gonna be doing this professionally, you have to remember that you're no longer just making music. You're in the music business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're in the music industry. And with that, the bottom line is going to be making some type of profit. Even if that's not your end goal.
You're selling a product at the end of the day.
Right.
You are the product.
Right. So now from a business standpoint, it's like imagine having a business and saying like, "Oh, you don't have a business line." Or you guys don't have a website. Right. You know what I mean? That's the equivalent of saying, "Oh, you're a DJ."
No storefront.
And no storefront. You're a DJ, but you're not on social media because
where's your proof at? Yeah.
Exactly. And for the most part, your social media, unfortunately, is like
your portfolio.
It's your resume, literally.
That shit sucks.
Yeah.
Honestly.
So for better or for worse,
yes,
it's literally your portfolio. But just like it could fuck you over, if you really put the time into it and make something out of it.
Yeah.
I mean,
it could really help you too.
I used to rap and sing out of high school, and my portfolio was SoundCloud. Mm-hmm. That used to be the thing, like for me, like, oh, go check out my SoundCloud. Like go, that's what it was. And I still feel like, as a DJ or producer, you could probably still get away with that. Just having a SoundCloud.
Well, SoundCloud was cool because the focus is your music.
Right.
That was the focus.
Yeah.
It was the focus. That's the thing. It was. Now it's what else?
Right.
What else you got?
Now it's a streaming service.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's shitty, man, because I feel like even when it was like rap or even when it was like EDM focused on SoundCloud, like people were genuinely there because you were going for the music, not anything else, and it just sucks that now we've had to like show more or do more, be more gimmicky or whatever,
Yeah, exactly. Gimmicky, bro.
Performative.
Yeah,
man.
for sure.
It sucks. And, a lot of us I know a lot of us aren't like that. I know a lot of us are like, fuck the gimmick shit, fuck like all that. Like,
most artists
shit.
aren't, right?
I hate posting, bro.
Yeah.
I just want to lock in on my creativity, bro. I'm not trying to sit here and think about how to fucking...
It's embarrassing, bro.
Yeah,
it is.
Trust me, it is embarrassing.
It's mad embarrassing. It's corny. But
sit here and put together a fucking reel.
What I will say though, and shout out to everyone here and shout out to the homies like that aren't here, but everyone is doing it their way that we're involved with.
Yeah,
and I think that's what I love the most. Like, we're saying fuck the gimmick shit, but I'm gonna at least do it the way I think is like my way, you know. And I admire that and I appreciate that. And that's where I'm like, all right, fine. After that, I'm like, you know, like I could deal without the rest of the shit, but
for sure.
I won't lie. I use my stories as like a vlog. You know, I hop on there and just talk shit. You know, but I don't know. That's just me. Like, I'd rather do that instead of sit there and plan content and do this. Like, I'd rather show my face, talk, and just people see like what I'm about. You know,
I think people like that though too.
Yeah, it's authentic.
The authenticity, yeah.
I think every artist has their own angle too, you know?
Oh, for sure, bro.
A lot, you know, you see some artists that are way more connected with their community, and they're very much, like, the same thing. They use their stories like a vlog. They have fucking Discords and shit.
Yep.
While other artists are, like, a little bit more just, like...
reserved.
Here's music. You know, some artists don't even talk, bro. Like, there's, like, no videos
of
them talking. And other guys are, like, insanely vocal, or, you know, they're always... hosting meet and greets or whatever it is. So I think just knowing what angle like you as an artist or what angle your brand is going to take and just leaning into that, you know, and to me it's just like being genuine, you know. I always
100%.
There's just times where I go rant, you know, on my stories, and I know that could be a little decisive, but
no, but like, at least we know it's you.
Exactly.
You know?
To me, it's like ultimately, I think you're gonna attract more people just being yourself than to try to play it safe and constantly worry about like, oh, like half my followers aren't gonna like that. It's like,
you gotta not give a shit.
Exactly. Not only that, but it's like, dude, if you don't like that shit, I don't want you at my show.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? Like, I wouldn't want you hanging out with the crowd at my show because I know that they would agree with me. You know what I mean? Not even just that, but it's just like.
Why be involved in that? Yeah,
exactly. It's like you're gonna attract people that are on your vibe, your energy. So it's like just let it naturally sift itself out, and don't
you don't gotta fake front for nobody.
Yeah, you don't gotta fight it, and ultimately you're just gonna attract more people that are like you.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. That's beautiful.
What's next for you, brother? Like, what's the big picture here? Like, we talking producing? We talking like what are we talking?
I'd probably say, I think for right now, aside from like leaning a little bit more into photography, on like my, just like the work aspect.
Yeah.
I want to like slowly, you know, sift out of my 9 to 5 and more into photos. But, with that being said, I also want to shift more into like, if I'm not doing anything media related, like it's essentially music related. Like it has to be music related or something related to like the industry, more or less. But, you know, I've been talking to Stanley here, and so he'll master my tracks.
Yeah.
But no, I definitely do have some tracks in the pipeline ready to come.
You should come over to Hypnotic.
Dude, I'll send him. I'll send them to whoever listens, bro.
Yeah,
but,
dude, it's me and Rich, man. We're the A&Rs there.
Yeah, I have a few. So I'm.
Stanley.
I guess. Yeah.
Got them covered.
I do got a few tracks lined up, and really just lean into that. Like once I release those, I have a few collabs too.
Cool.
You know.
Hell yeah.
But and just really get over that hump of like, you know, I gotta drop songs, and
I feel you, brother. I'm in the same boat.
Unfortunately, like a lot of them are gonna suck for the first year or so, or not necessarily suck. But
you won't know though. You just gotta put them out.
Some
bro.
people might fuck with that sound specifically.
Absolutely,
man.
Yeah. You know, it's just getting over that hump as a quote unquote perfectionist, which like I don't even agree with anymore.
Yeah,
that all or nothingness, right?
Yeah, it's just like posting on social media. You know, it's cringe, bro. It's embarrassing.
Tell me,
it's your baby.
Yeah,
yeah, bro.
Yeah, just putting it up out there for criticism, like, but you know, it's just like
part of the game we play.
Yeah, it's part of the game. Like, there's just gonna be just like there's nights where you know you go out and you play at an empty room.
That's a very good way to see it.
It's just bound to happen, bro. You know.
Nah, man, I agree with that 100%, bro. I really enjoyed this episode, bro. I think it was really nice. I think it was really cool to shoot the shit with you and like get to know you more, man.
Thank you, dude. Likewise.
Thank you again for your service. That was really cool. I did not know that.
Is there anyone you want to shout out? Is there anyone you want to mention? Is there anything coming up that you want to advertise before?
Well, I have some, you know, music coming down the line, but I'll probably announce that once it's ready. Yeah, still got to check in with some of the collabs, you know, before I can publicly announce that.
Where can people hit you up for media?
Hit me up at through IG at Call Me Casper.
Mm-hmm. We'll put your links in the bio.
Thank you. I also do have, I believe, my email and a few other contacts linked in the link tree. But yeah, just shoot me a DM, send me an email. I have that in there as well, and then
I can vouch for this guy. He did my
I think everybody in this room can vouch for this guy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think I actually have done media in this room.
So I know for a fact this guy will kill it. If you guys haven't yet, man, this guy Casper, he's been killing it, man. In production and in photography, multicam. This guy's the one, man. Hit him up. Tell him D-Lo sent you. Tell him Denali sent you. Tell him Stanley sent you. He'll get you right.
That's right.
Dude, anyone you want to shout out?
Shout out my Uncle Stanley right here.
Yeah.
The mix master engineer.
Big Stan.
And shout out my roommate, John Jose.
Yeah, man. Shout out John. We're trying to get him on, too.
Yeah.
Shout out John and his girlfriend, Nar.
Yeah, man. Shout out Nar.
Obviously, they're a big inspiration. John's my roommate. But just being around him, Nar, Stanley, and
Let's get you guys on here ASAP.
Everyone else that comes over to to our place and, watching them work. And, it's just a pleasure to be around that,
Oh, yeah.
So,
absolutely.
You surround yourself with greatness.
Exactly. So it's just like being able to do that and try to mirror what they're doing and, pick their brains when I can. Yeah. Like, it's definitely something that not a lot of people have access to.
No, you're blessed.
Man. Yeah. So it's you're in a good spot, bro.
Yeah. So I definitely try to do
some
what
great
I can
friends.
to be there and provide what I can for them in return,
Yeah. Nah, brother, again, thank you so much for being a part of this. We definitely want to have you back on.
Yeah. Thank you, bro. I would love to, bro.
By the end of the year, man, like I keep telling everybody, we're going to have a creative space. Like it's going to be, like we're going to be able to smoke in here, like drink in here. Like it's going to be a fucking vibe, bro. Like it's going to be a great experience for everyone. And just to chop it up again in another space, I think will be great,
Yeah, dude. And
be all themed.
To the pod. Cool. I know the pod's only fucking, going to snowball. So
dude,
good luck with
you,
this
man.
project as well.
I appreciate
Honestly,
that a ton.
There's going to be so much content I can pull from this specific episode just because, like, we just touched on so much LA, like, scene stuff. And I don't know. It's just, I'm hearing everything and I'm like, okay, yeah, there's going to be a lot of like shorts.
Nice, hell yeah.
A lot of content I could pull from here.
Yeah, bro. Well,
even though I don't want to because I fucking hate it. But no, we're going to get it done, baby.
Trust me, bro. I hate hearing my voice on videos, bro.
No,
You're telling me, good, brother. You're telling me. I tell him all the time.
Like, I'm like, damn, bro, you guys fuck with me even though I talk like this?
I tell him, like, hey, bro, because we're at his house, like, working on, like, pod stuff for, like, OTR business, and he throws on the pod to start editing. I'm like, turn that shit off, bro. I do not want to hear myself. Like, start working on that shit after, man. Like, I don't need to hear myself. I'll hear the finished product.
Nah, I'm opposite. I be singing at work. I'm like, hear me.
I aspire to be like that, bro, like Kanye.
Bro, yeah.
Listening to your own music.
That's him for sure, bro.
That's me, dog.
He's listening to shit 24/7, like him hearing himself.
On your videos.
Yeah. Yes, bro.
Burner
yes.
accounts, dude.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you guys have made it this far deep into the pod, man, we appreciate you guys so much as always, man. This has been a banger of an episode. Shout out to Casper. Shout out to fucking Stanley, man, coming in early and being a guest host, man. It was a beautiful thing, man. Shout out to everybody that's listening, man. We can't wait to give you guys this episode and much more content coming up, man. It's going to be a beautiful thing. Until then, we'll see you guys soon. This has been OTR Radio. We'll see you on the next one, man. Peace.
I love you.